July 8, 1860. The Golden Era, San Francisco, California. Farm, garden, and household. Jelly calves' feet. To 4 calves' feet, well cleansed and divided, pour 4 quarts of water and boil it to 1/2. When perfectly firm and cold, clear off the fat and add 1 bottle of sherry, 3/4 of a pound of powdered sugar, the juice of 6 moderate-sized lemons, and the whites, with the shells finely crushed, of 8 eggs. If you should wish to mold it, about 3/4 of an ounce of isinglass ought to be dropped lightly in where the liquid becomes visible through the head of the scum when the mixture begins to boil. It may be roughed or served in glasses without this addition. The calf's feet should not be bought ready boiled, but only scalded. Cow's feet or heels make nearly as good jelly as that from calf's feet and are much more economical. Plant peas deep. The theory recently advocated of planting peas very deeply in the earth in order to prolong the bearing capacity of the vines has also been tested in Massachusetts and found to be correct. A farmer plowed a furrow beam deep, then scattered the seed peas at the bottom, after which he turned a deep furrow upon them with his plow, covering them, if possible, to the depth of 12 or 14 inches. They pushed their way up through the thick mass of earth very soon, and instead of turning yellow at the bottom and dying after the first gathering, they blossomed and bore until he was tired of picking the pods. If such a result will uniformly be realized from the plan, pea culture may be made more profitable than hitherto. Save your garden seeds. A great many of our citizens have been compelled to replant many of their garden vegetables owing to the failure, from some cause or other, in the productiveness of the seed which they had purchased. Much might be saved if our people would only take upon themselves a little trouble to save from their crops enough seed to do them next season. In this way, they would always know what kind of seed they had, and always have such seed as they knew to be sound and suitable to our climate. We hope our readers will act upon the suggestion. Rum as a fertilizer. A Matanzas, Cuba paper has seen some gigantic specimens of early sugarcane, the growth of which, it says, was quickened by the use of rum, which article it claims to be a better fertilizer than guano itself. We think no one will dispute that rum is well adapted to raise cane. For one of this we have sufficient evidence in our own country, without going to Matanzas for proof. Batter pudding. Beat 4 eggs thoroughly. Mix with them 1/2 pint of milk and add them by degrees to 1/2 pound of flour. When the batter is perfectly smooth, thin it with another 1/2 pint of milk. Flour well a wet pudding cloth, pour the batter in, leave it room to swell, tie it securely, and put in plenty of fast boiling water. 1 hour and a quarter will boil it. Send to table with wine sauce. Pickles. An excellent way to make pickles that will keep a year or more is to drop them into boiling hot water, but not boil them. Let them stay 10 minutes, wipe them dry and drop into cold spiced vinegar, and they will not need to be put into salt and water. Yeast for homemade bread. Boil 1 pound of good flour, 1/4 of a pound of moist sugar, and 1/2 ounce of salt in 2 gallons of water for an hour. When nearly cold, bottle and cork it closely. It will be fit for use in 24 hours, and 1 pint will make 18 pounds of bread. Cream sponge cake. 1 cup of fine white sugar, 1 cup of flour, 1/2 a cup of sweet cream, the whites of 4 eggs, saleratus about the size of a pea dissolved, a teaspoon of extract of lemon or vermilla. First, beat the sugar and cream light, then add the whites of the eggs beaten to a stiff froth, and, lastly, mix in the flour and other ingredients and beat until very light and white. To make old silk look as well as new, unpick the dress, put it into a tub, and cover it with cold water in which is placed a tablespoon of ox gall. Let it remain an hour. Dip it up and down, but do not wring it. Hang it up to drain. Iron it very damp on the wrong side and it will look beautiful. Mock oysters. To 3 grated parsnips add 3 eggs, 1 teacup of sweet cream, butter, half the size of an egg, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of flour. Fry as griddle cakes. To cure burns or scalds, cover them at once liberally with wheat flour, sweet and nice, and let them remain. They will heal rapidly, and all heat will be drawn out. November 16, 1917, The Evening News, San Jose, California. The Kitchen Cupboard. Fall Pickling. Best Piccalilli. 2 quarts of tomatoes or more chopped, 2 green peppers, 3 cupfuls of sugar, 1 pint of vinegar, 1/4 cupful of salt, 1/2 box of mixed spices put in a little bag, 1 pint of onions chopped. Cook 1/2 hour. After beginning to boil, it should be done and look green, not dark, like long-cooked piccalilli. Cucumbers. Dissolve 1 cupful of sugar, 1 cupful of mustard, and 1 cupful of salt in a little vinegar. Then add 1 gallon of best cider vinegar. Wash the cucumbers and put them into the above mixture. They keep well in a crock or can be put into jars and sealed. The vinegar can be fixed and cucumbers added during the season. Dill pickles. Take small cucumbers, salt, grape leaves, whole peppers, dill seed, and a few slices of rye bread. Wash, then put a layer of salt in stone crock, then grape leaves, then cucumbers. Repeat. Then lay in 2 or 3 whole peppers and dill seed. Repeat until full. Then have the top layer of dill, grape leaves, and a few slices of rye bread. Green tomato pickle. 1 peck of green tomatoes, 1 small cabbage, 1 cupful of salt, 6 medium-sized onions, 1 dozen apples, 1/2 dozen green peppers, 1 tablespoon of mustard seed, 1 cupful of grated horseradish, 1 teaspoonful of spice and cloves, 1/2 gallon of vinegar, 1 pint of water, and 2 large cupfuls of brown sugar. Grind or chop and boil all together about 30 minutes. Cantaloupe pickle. 4 cantaloupes, green and hard. Pare off the rind as thin as possible. Cut lengthwise into quarters. Reject seeds and all soft part of the melon. Cover with vinegar. Let stand 24 hours. Pour vinegar from fruit. Add 3 pounds of brown sugar, 1 ounce of whole cloves, 1 ounce of stick cinnamon, 2 sprays of whole mace. Boil spiced vinegar until spices are tender. Add melon, boiling all until the slices of melon are clear. Place while hot in stone crock. Put a plate on top of pickle and weight on top of plate so that the vinegar will come up over the plate. Pickle must be kept airtight. Anna Thompson.